Cargo Day 199. Ah, yes. I wish I hadn't forgotten my sunglasses today. Every time. I can't see anything. I can't see. The snow is melting like crazy right now, which is making it a lot heavier and harder to shovel. My mind is a little bit preoccupied today. I've been thinking a lot about the whole hope of having a writing career, which is largely good, and I'm hopeful for the next year, but it's also left me with thinkers. I'll elaborate. I had a conversation with a friend this week or weekend that kind of helped to highlight a couple of issues, one of which is just the fact that I don't want what most people want from life. It's something that I've known for a long time, but something that really has never sunk in quite as much as it might be now. But within, not just within writing, there are a lot of people that want to be writers, but the end goals of writing, for me, different. I mean, one of the biggest differentiators between me and probably 95% of people is that I don't want the house and kids and, I just don't want that. I don't know. I don't want the kind of the American dream. I never have. Be a bad spot. Oh, it's kind of actually pretty well lit with the reflection. Might just be a bad spot for the audio. One of the things that I have a hard time really owning up to in the end is the fact that, I've never really wanted kids, and that's one of these foundational things that I think drives most people, is that desire for kids, a family, to have something established and settled, and it's never been something that I've really wanted. I want experiences, I want to write, I want to be successful at writing and storytelling. I want to travel, I want to see the rest of the world. And for me, writing and traveling are the two main things. And I do want to find a wife, I want to find a partner in that, but finding somebody who doesn't want all those things that the majority of other people really want, it's hard. It's not easy. So that's never really been a big focus of mine. Even though it's a big desire of mine, my focus has been on the things I can control. I can't control the success of my YouTube channel. I can't control that. I can't control how many people subscribe. I can't control if you click that subscribe button right now. All I can control is the quality of the content I create, which is a whole other conversation for soon, because I feel like I've been dropping the ball big time. But there are certain areas that I can really pour myself into and sacrifice for, and things that I don't want to let go of, things I don't want to sacrifice. And writing and seeing the world are two of the big things that I really am not willing to sacrifice. If I end up comparing myself to anybody with the vlog, I'm really missing my sunglasses, and he would have them. It's Casey Neistat. And Casey, I don't compare myself on the side of the subscriber count or his view counts or anything like that. Like I said, I can't control that. I cannot control what other people are doing, but I can control the quality of my content and how consistently I put that out. As you know, 2016 has been just awful, and it's been hard to produce the level of consistency that I would like with the vlog. But the other thing that I'm contending with that always takes away from the vlog for me is gonna be writing. Writing, like I said, is one of the most important things to me. It's something I will not sacrifice. It's something that I will not let go of. If I feel like writing, I will write. And it's something that I just have to do, because it's an ingrained part of me, but it's also an ingrained part of the future that I want for myself. A future that's not assured, and one that there's no roadmap for, and there's no guarantee I'm ever gonna get anywhere with, but it's what I want. What I want more than anything is to be able to write for a living, to be successful, to share my worlds with the world, to be a masterful writer. And that's something that I have control over, the masterful part of the writing process. I'm getting there. Every word I write is a step in the right direction. Every book that I finish gets me closer to being a good or great or hopefully someday masterful writer. And so since I'm not willing to sacrifice that, it means that I end up sacrificing a lot of other things. And so the reason that this came up is because my buddy Asia highlighted the fact that the majority of people in the world will sacrifice everything they can to have a relationship, to have a family, and to have an established home. And they'll give up tons of other stuff, which, that's fine. And it can cause problems down the line there. People can be super happy doing it. People run the gamut. So I'm not trying to generalize. One of the things that he highlighted was really that I'm different. Like, he talks to a lot of people about life. Like, relationship is his number one thing. He loves talking with people and helping them figure their lives out. And I want something that's completely different than everybody else. Not everybody else, but what I want is something that is evident because I'm willing to sacrifice for it. I mean, my whole life this year is the result of so much of that sacrifice, and I hope that it's for something down the line. But it gets really hard. It's not easy to continue to take every day as it comes, not knowing if I'm actually building towards something or if I'm just wasting my time. And especially when there's no validation around me, or so little validation around me, to say what I'm doing is valuable or worth all of this effort. Because it could be a giant waste of time. And I don't think it is. But even if it is, I can't stop. Because this is what I want. I mean, this isn't what I want. Life right now is not what I want. Don't get me wrong about that. So that's one of the things that I try to give myself grace when I'm comparing myself to somebody like Casey, or when I'm looking at the lives that other people are leading, the houses that they're buying, the families that they're having. I have to remind myself that that's not what I want. Even if the rest of society seems to want something, even if all of my friends are heading in one direction in their life and really, set on this certain group of things, like, that doesn't mean that what I want is invalid, and it doesn't mean that what I'm aiming for, striving for, isn't worth it. And that's something I have to remind myself. And that's why the conversation was really good, because for him to finally, I've known him for a long time, and I feel like it's taken him a long time to really start to understand the fact that I really genuinely want something different than pretty much everyone else he knows. And to have him recognize that and affirm that and recognize the fact that I'm not making the same sacrifices everybody else makes. I'm making a unique set of sacrifices that lead to not having a lot of things that I do want and that other people obviously want. But the dream that I have is real, and I'm gonna go grab it by the horns and make it mine. Because at the end of the day, what good is a dream if you don't act towards it, if you don't move towards it? Those are my thoughts for today. It's not bothering me, but it's actually been really good to be thinking about it. But it's hard because I want more than just a writing career. I think there are a lot of people that want writing careers, but also want the house and the kids and all that kind of stuff. Writing for them, maybe a passion, but it's also kind of a standard job that plugs in. And for me, it may not be that different, but the end goal is for me to be able to just up and go somewhere. Like, I'd love to just be able to go to Taiwan for 6 months, or Berlin for 3 months, or South Africa or somewhere. I want to be mobile. I want my writing to enable me to see the world, to continue to have experiences and to move. Like, I don't need to buy a house. I don't need to live anywhere in particular. I'm okay being a vagrant and sharing those experiences with you guys, because I know a lot of you would love to be out doing those things, but you also have stronger desires for things that keep you tied down. There's nothing wrong with that either. Like, we want different things. We can have different things. And there are moments where I wish I had something more established and that I was building something that wasn't so completely intangible. But at the same time, like, I want to share my journey with you, just like my friends share their homes with me. And I don't know, it's symbiotic, and I hope that we can live and love and laugh together. Anyways, I've talked for a really long time on this. I think my whole vlog is probably just going to be this for today, because I really want to sit down and write, go, figure. But I don't know. I want to keep also talking this through, because part of it is accepting myself and accepting the fact that I am different, and that that's okay, and that that's valid. Because I have a hard time accepting that about myself, that what I want is different, and that's okay. And that just because there's not an established path and people look at me like I'm a freak for not wanting everything that they assume everyone wants, is also okay. I just gotta put up with it and move on. So I'm sure we'll dig deeper into this later. I'm gonna go back inside.